Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Frustrated. That's the feeling coming from the families of those killed in the Oxford school shooting after learning they'll have to wait until winter to learn the gunman's fate.
It has been an exhausting few weeks for those hearing and processing a lot of disturbing new information that came to light during the Oxford shooter's Miller hearing.
Well, that hearing finally wrapped up today, but it'll be weeks before a judge makes a decision and months before a sentence is finally handed down.
Tonight, Sean Lay has been talking with parents about the pain that this delay is now causing. Sean?
It's a long process, and I think the parents do understand that. The judge himself said, look, we have so much information that came out in this Miller hearing, 4 days of testimony, including today. He has to look at it all to make really a sound decision about life in prison without parole when you're talking about a minor. Buck Meir, father of Tate Meir, however, said everything's being looked at here, including the video of the shooting, except because of immunity, school officials.
These are kids. These are 4 kids that were murdered, 7 shot, hundreds terrorized. And our government is hiding.
Buck Meir with his wife Sherry, the parents of Oxford High School shooting victim Tate Meir, exhausted after a 4-day hearing known as a Miller hearing. That is a hearing for a juvenile defendant, in this case the 17-year-old shooter, to determine if a minor can be sentenced to life in prison without parole. So many aspects of the shooting were revealed in court. Painful new details. Video of the shooting was played in court. The Meir family agreed not to watch it, but ended up seeing their son's final moments.
Our grievance counselor said, don't watch it, and we didn't listen to him. We watched it. We can't unwatch it now. But we were forced to watch it because we don't have any answers.
The shooter has pled guilty. The shooter's parents are charged with involuntary manslaughter for neglecting their son and giving him the gun. But Oxford school officials are not facing legal action for their actions that failed to prevent the shooting.
I don't understand how we can have a kid that's at the top of the mountain in crisis. Top of the mountain, you can't get any higher. And he's wanting to get busted.
Back here lies still so many questions and very few answers because of that governmental immunity that school officials enjoy in this case. But a lot did come out focused on them, but this focuses on the shooter himself. Now, the judge will rule on this Miller hearing whether or not he gets life in prison without parole or has an ability to get out at some point if he can be reformed. That'll be decided on September 29th, and then sentencing day way out in December. We're live at the Oakland County Courthouse. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
Okay, Sean, thank you. New information tonight from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office on how one of its deputies shot and killed a man. It all started before 6 this morning when a woman called about a suspicious car in her driveway. We're told a man was sleeping in that car with a loaded gun on his passenger seat. When deputies tried to apprehend him for questioning, he took off, dragging one of the deputies with him. That's when the other deputy fired one shot, ultimately killing the man. As of tonight, that man's identity is not being released to the public.
Clock is winding down on the United Auto Workers national contract with the Big Three. The next step would be a strike authorization vote. The union faithful will start voting on that this weekend. Business Editor Rob Maloney live tonight with a look at how the union is handling concerns over a strike. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, you know, a strike authorization vote is just the membership telling the negotiators they have the green light to bring that up at the bargaining table and call a strike should they need to. But it doesn't mean there's going to be a strike. But there are a lot of people out there deeply concerned that there might be a strike.
We are literally being worked to death.
Sean Fain, in his now weekly Facebook addresses to his membership, pulls no punches and even answers members' questions.
I see a new member here that's, just new to the union on March 22nd. It's their first contract with Kentucky Truck Plant. I'm just nervous about what's coming. You got nothing to be nervous about. You know what? That's what a union's all about. We're all in this together.
And while personally rallying his membership by loudly threatening a strike, he's also having the locals go to work holding a big pro-strike vote rally in Warren this coming Sunday afternoon. Wayne State University union expert and auto analyst Dr. Merrick Masters tells Local 4 while it's likely the strike vote will get approved, not everyone's so anxious to walk that picket line.
I think he faces a divided union. Exactly how they're divided, I'm not certain, and the intensity of feelings on both sides will vary. I think he has some passionate people about wanting to get more and holding out for as much as they can get, and this may include a strike.
Whether Fain looks to strike one or more of the domestic three or none of them, Masters says he thinks Fain will eventually opt to return to pattern bargaining at some point.
He wants ultimately a pattern, and I think on certain big ticket items there will be a pattern. I would be surprised if they didn't get the basic wage rate the same across all three companies, and the basic kinds of retirements they provide the same across all three companies.
Now, the union does have a rather sizable strike fund, about $800 million, and workers who end up walking a picket line would get $500 a week from the union. But Masters points out that should they say strike all three at the same time, that fund would deplete pretty quickly. Back to you.
Rod, we've seen this full laundry list of demands that Shawn Fain and the UAW have had. It seems impossible to get all of that, though he's touted a lot of these, right, since his election.
Yeah, you know, there's the question of whether he's into an area of overreach, but he's not going to get it all. He knows he's not going to get it all. Things like the jobs bank or even a defined benefit pension. He talks about that a lot, but it does not appear that the car companies are interested in going back to, say, 2007 or 8 and be in a position where they were back then, where two of the big three had to file for bankruptcy.
Right, exactly right. All right, Rod, the watch goes on.
Well, new information tonight about the Michigan woman who died last week from tuberculosis. We now know she contracted the disease from contaminated bone graft material. 57-year-old Chandra Isinga died August 10th after being treated for a post-surgical TB infection. Apparently, contaminated bone tissue product from the same deceased donor was used in 36 patients, including Isinga. The CDC says at least 2 people have died because of it. It's unclear if Isinga's death is included in that count. A similar outbreak in 2021 killed 8 people.
A massive operation is underway in Belleville Lake today in an effort to find debris from last week's air show. Dive teams with at least 11 police agencies conducted searches throughout the day. They say they found some interesting stuff, but we'll continue to wait for the further investigation. New at 6, the Van Buren Township Police Department sharing photos of what they found, including the canopies and seats from the bottom of the lake. The plane that crashed at 4:15 p.m. Sunday was a MiG-23 UB fighter plane. As of tonight, though, the FAA, National Transportation Safety Board, still trying to figure out the exact cause of the crash.
All right, well, the Dream Cruise brings in more than 1 million cruisers and also, unfortunately, a few scammers as well. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester is live along Woodward tonight with this warning from the Oakland County Sheriff. Hank.
Yeah, Kimberly, important information as so many of you, in fact, more than 1 million people expected up and down Woodward Avenue as the Dream Cruise officially kicks off tomorrow. And the sheriff wants you to know this event is free. The Woodward Dream Cruise is huge. Almost 1 million people cruising Woodward, enjoying the fun, the sun, of course, the classic cars. People like Bill Nichols.
There are a ton of people. You meet multiple people here. I like the car industry. I like cars, so it's kind of a playground for me.
But help me, Hank, learning that some scammers are trying to ruin the big party. What they're doing, they're telling people they need to pay to cruise. That's right. They're saying that they need $20. They'll get a decal, and then they're registered to drive. It is a scam. Here's Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard.
To have somebody imply you have to have a sticker is absurd. It's a crime. It's fraud. Don't buy it. Don't fall into the trap.
The sheriff wants you to know this is happening, and he encourages you to take action if you're approached by one of these thieves.
If they're approached by somebody, don't be afraid to snap their picture on the phone. And, that would be helpful to know who's out there doing that.
I reached out to those running the big Dream Cruise and received this statement today. Since 1995, cruising along Woodward Avenue during the Woodward Dream Cruise has always been a free event. Only participating community car shows require a registration fee.
It's extremely low. It takes a certain kind of character to do stuff like that. I think you ought to be put in jail.
Back out here live in Ferndale. Of course, cruising is free and it kicks off officially tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. The sheriff, of course, encouraging anybody who's approached by these scammers just to ignore them. Get as much information as you can about those responsible and contact police on your own right away. We're live here in Ferndale. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank. Back to you.
Every time there's something good, somebody's always out there trying to mess it up, Hank. We appreciate your report. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at 13 Mile and Woodward right now, the place to be for a lot of folks, and I mean a lot of folks. I will see it in just a minute, hopefully. Before we do that, though, let's get over to Ron and see what kind of... These cars need good weather.
They do. Don't get those paint jobs all messed up, Ron, and it looks like it's going to be pretty nice.
Well, Kimberly and Devin, no one can mess up this good weather. That is something they can't touch. It is going to be beautiful out there this evening as well as tomorrow for the Woodward Dream Cruise. Right now, clouds and radar showing that we are clear across southeast Michigan. You get a little bit of cloud coverage. You go over towards southwestern Ontario. But for the majority of us around here, the site looks very much like this with sunshine. Now, this is Woodward in Midtown. Of course, the official Dream Cruise does not extend down into Wayne County, but you'll see a couple of classic cars around there. The temperatures right now in the lower 70s, very nice weather. This evening, it is going to be cooling on down into the lower 60s around midnight. You get beyond midnight, we're talking about temperatures dropping quite a bit lower with those clear skies. Now, I'm going to talk about how cool it gets tonight, and then a big warm-up is in store for us. That's something you want to stick around for because a lot of people will find it hot. It's going to be a hot one.